Welcome to this special presentation of Investing in Psychedelics, brought to you by the Canadian Securities Exchange in partnership with CFN Media. Hi, my name's Anna Sarin. I'm Director of Listings Development with the Canadian Securities Exchange. I am joined today by Jeff Stevens. He is CEO of Psyched Wellness. Thank you for joining me.
Anna, thanks so much for having us. We are excited to be part of the CSE Exchange and excited to be part of the conference.
So we are having this discussion. This is your CEO clip. We are excited to host a bunch of different companies that will be joining us on our June 17th Investing in Psychedelics online series. Of course, you are one of our shining stars in there. So why don't you start off by just telling us about Psych Wellness?
Yeah, thank you very much. So Psych Wellness is a new company. We started it to take advantage of the functional mushroom market, and then eventually to pivot and get into the psychedelic space as well. What we've done is we've looked at what's happening in the psychedelic space, and the team of founders and the board and the management team have all had experience early in the cannabis trade. So whether they were on the deal structuring side, on the capital raising side as the issuer, or an investor as a portfolio manager. So they all recognize a lot of similarities to what's happening right now in the psychedelic space to what happened 8-10 years ago in the cannabis space. So the idea was, let's build the team, let's build the platform and get to market, and then build a brand and a position, and then be able to take advantage of this industry as it opens up over the next 2, 3, 4 years. We are building what we believe to be a best-in-class team to take advantage of this, and we'll talk about that a little deeper in this conversation, I'm sure. But the whole idea is to be positioned, to have a footprint, to be in a strong cash position, and be able to take advantage of opportunities as they open up. We view it more of as a marathon, not a 100-meter dash. And to that effect, we're really focused on being positioned with our first product to build the brand, but then also to look at others as they become open.
Well, and I think obviously your experience from the cannabis space has really helped you get to that place. It's hard to tell as these new markets come to the capital market side of things, what will be of value to investors and what will have the best upside. So it's probably a decent, business model to position yourself that way, and be able to jump at things as they come to market. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the business model? What are you guys working on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously, our first venture is focused on a mushroom called Amanita muscaria, and that is a functional mushroom. It's not considered a drug at all. However, it does have psychedelic qualities to it. We're going to start with a tincture, and it's going to have a very low dose of muscimol, which is the active ingredient that we're looking for from that. So it'll have similar effect to, say, a melatonin, in the sense it'll be a calming effect. We want to enter that market with that first product. The team is doing toxicology and working with labs and going through everything we need to do to ensure that, when we come to market with this tincture, it's a safe product. It's going to have a good taste, and it's something that people are going to enjoy the experience with. And then from there, we'll look to add on additional products from the Amanita. But again, as I mentioned earlier, we will look at other opportunities as they become available to us.
Tell me about your team. You got quite an impressive team around you. Tell me about them.
Yeah, thank you. So Michael Niederhoff is our chairman of the board.
Of course.
Well, thank you. I'll start with our board because I believe we have sort of a best-in-class board with us on this team. Michael Niederhoff joins us. He's a consumer packaged good rock star. He started his career on the buy side working with Loblaws. He was one of the first 10 employees with Red Bull Canada and spent 8 years there. So effectively taking it from zero to hero on the sales and marketing side. Brought Muscle Milk into Canada, and he currently sits as the president of Juul Labs Canada. So his experience in the CPG world is unparalleled. He's been a fantastic resource for us, opening up doors with distributors, helping us with the product branding and positioning us so that when we do have that MVP, we can go to market with it. Michael also brought with him Nick Kaddish, who works with him at Juul Labs Canada as well. Nick is their head of corporate affairs, government relations. And so he brings a really strong and deep knowledge on the compliance and regulatory side. So he's working quite closely with my COO, David Shizzle, who's based in Tel Aviv, on the operational side. So we're sort of running parallel paths, if you will. David and Nick are working very closely on the operational, moving forward with our product development. I myself am working more on the corporate side with getting the listing statement into you guys at the CSE, getting our financings completed to be positioned to take advantage of things. Addition to Nick and Michael, we have Terry Booth. Terry really doesn't need any introduction. He was the founder of Aurora Cannabis, and certainly has been a fantastic resource for myself as we move to take this company public. He certainly was one of the pioneers in the cannabis space. He understands a lot of the challenges that are involved in a new industry opening up, and having his experience and his mentorship on the board is going to be key for us to not make some mistakes that others might make who don't have a deep team that they can rely on like we do.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something that can be said for the sector as it comes to the market, and that is that we're seeing some of the big pioneers on the capital market side from the cannabis space make the switch over. And I think it's wonderful that they're being able to apply what they learn, because there's so many elements, whether it be regulations, listing regulations, just general kind of a new sector to the market. So it's wonderful to see a lot of these guys make their way over to the psychedelic side. Is there anything going on in the next year that you want to talk about? What are your big plans?
Well, we're very excited about the next year for sure. We are targeting to be trading July, by all indications from our exchange with your group at the CSE. So we're very excited about that opportunity to get the company listed and be public for retail and institutional investors to participate in the growth of the sector. Part of that will be also getting our MVP, so getting our Amanita tincture to market. We do have a very deep team of founders that support me as well, who have access to a lot of deal flow. So I think that Psyched Wellness will be a company that is looking to grow organically, but also through acquisition. There's going to be a lot of opportunity in the sector as various cities and states open up to decriminalize or legalize various psychedelics. And again, other countries around the world as we see this movement going forward. One of the things that I think is very exciting is we've got mainstream media attention to the sector. And that's the first sort of driver. When you get that mainstream media attention, you get some big money investments in, clinical trials happen. All of those things help to benefit a company like ours because they take the stigma away from psychedelics and they make it something that people are more comfortable with as an opportunity. We see that happening now in Silicon Valley, even in Toronto, where people are microdosing and using that as a daily or every other day tool to give them the ability to look at things a little differently, sort of enlighten things and approach things a little more creatively. So we're excited about the next year. We think there's going to be a lot of change. There's cities and states that are putting decriminalization and legalization of various psychedelics on the 2020 ballot in the US. So I think we're going to see a lot of exciting things happen for sure.
Oh, that's great. Well, listen, thank you so much for giving us a rundown of the company, and we look forward to hosting you on the 17th. I think we're going to get some great dialogue and content, and we look forward to hosting you guys as well as a company.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we look forward to being on a panel and hearing what all the other great companies are doing in the space as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Anne. Cheers.